The ultimate Panopticoin. One word to say and I screw it up. Panopticoin. Panopticoin. Now, if this was a bigger YouTube channel, someone would spin up a meme coin called the Panopticoin. But it really is. It's the concept of Bitcoin as a Panopticoin is one of those dark theory suns I don't want to stare too much at, because I'm not sure if I can emotionally reconcile it. The concept of perhaps everything that we initially thought and held up as a virtue of Bitcoin, immutable, ledger, transparent. It's like, wait a second, that could really flip on us pretty fast. This could be one of those be aware of what you wish for type of qualities, and it takes a while, because I remember it was one of the last things that I ever really deep thought about. Like, wait a second. Transparent, immutable ledger. That could really flip against us when you really think about it. Terry Crow, how is it March already? I was just thinking that today, because when I make the thumbnails, I'll save them as 02, 27, 26. So actually, for the whole up until today, all the thumbnails from January, February, all ended in 25. Because it takes me 2 months to, it's 2026, goddammit, 2026. So the last thumbnail for Friday, whatever that date was 02, 27, 25. And then I was like, oh my God, it's March. Now the good news about March, here's a funny thing. I raw dogged the entire weekend. So, besides the ticker at the Jimmy going, but what was different about the Jimmy, if you've noticed in the TVs, I put up this massive TV to our right. So I found that when all the TVs were on, all the NPCs would just be instead of watching the show, they would just turn. And I felt it was alienating the show, because they would just stare at a TV, because that's what humans do. We stare at TVs, right? So I tried to I'm going to keep the TVs off, and they have to look at this. It's a 65-incher. I thought it would be bigger, but on a big wall, it's not that big. But it's big enough to see the comments in the show. So that's the main difference of that. So I wasn't aware of the ticker, which was good, because anything pulls me away from the show, right? I try to keep riding the wave of the vibe, but the ticker, it was where's that price? So just raw dogging it, and plus X, it's taking out my weekend X doom scrolling has been a cleansing experience. So it's interesting, because you look at this and what's happened really since Friday, nothing. We kind of had a little bit of a Christopher Nolan relief rally. But really, we are just, riding the light fandango on this. What's going on here? It's not, nothing's working. Let's see here. Is it frozen? Yeah. You waited for the stream to start to freeze? Watch, I'll try to switch. Nope. It won't even switch. Can you hear that? That's me switching the... Can I move it at all? Yeah, I can move it. Well, it looks like we're stuck on the 4-hour chart for this for this stream. I can't even get it in and out. God damn you, Brave. I try to support Brave because it gives me the illusion that it's more of a private web browser, if there is such a thing. But man, you really screw up a lot, web browser. Plus, when I refresh it, all the charts go to wherever. They don't even come back Bitcoin. It's like between Brave and TradingView, they just, what should we put this chart on? It was the daily Bitcoin chart. How about, I don't know, IBM monthly chart? Yeah, that's good. How does it even get there in the algorithm? If X equals this, put it to IBM. Come on. This is weird. And guess what's going to happen for sure? As soon as the stream's done, you wanted me to switch to the daily chart? Sorry. I was just sleeping here. I was just dumping all your data back to CIA and the CSIS and NIA. Okay, well, looks like we're just gonna have to raw dog the 4-hour chart. Now, this isn't even updating because I got 65.5 here and I got 65.8 here. Does it switch to grok? No, nothing. Well, looks like that. Well, it's because I used the word raw dog. Now we're really raw dogging it. Anyway, nothing's happening. We're just in the same place we were on Friday, which is unfortunate. I think the last thing I said on Friday was the world's become so financialized that we don't go to war until the stock market closes. And sure enough, Lord love a duck if that's not what happened. Now, I haven't been keeping up to date with it because they're all just banker wars, right? Everything's on any type of human loss or bloodshed is horrible. I see gold's 5,400. Now, that's locked. It's a locked screen. So is it 54? That's interesting. Like the concept of investors seeing bombs drop and going, hey, buy gold. Yeah, I sell Bitcoin. I just don't really buy it. However, the narrative on gold cannot be ignored, right? It was a sitting dead duck for probably 2 decades, more or less. I mean, it did go from 200 to 2,000. It did 10x, right? But it took 2 decades. Now, to hit $1 million Bitcoin, do we have to wait 10 years? Maybe. Because I was doing some Kager work, what else are you going to do when you're driving your car but ask Grok Kager questions. And at 16% Kager, which we did last all-time high to all-time high, it would take about 10 years. So that would be a long 10 years, I think, for most people. And that would have to be 16% Kager, which, we never reproduce the same Kager, right? Kenny, maybe 9.5 years. Yeah. Well, at a 16% Kager, if we were to reproduce last all-time high to all-time high, 2021 to 2025, and get a 16% Kager from here to 2029, we would roughly be about 225K. Reproducing the last all-time high to all-time high Kager, which we've never done. So again, that would be a novel experience with the cycle. Not to say it can happen, just to say it never has. It could. I mean, anything could happen. Look at gold. Breaks out to 54.01, I think. I don't know. It's really weird that this is like that. I'm going to get over it. E-money. Well, let's just do a answer questions in the old chat comment section here. E-money. 70% of Venezuelan oil went to China. 90% of Iranian oil went to China. Both not using the U.S. dollar. What a strange coincidence, yeah? Well, it's also a strange coincidence that all those countries in the Middle East had state-owned banks too. So there's that, including Iraq and Iran and Syria and Libya. So they're all state-owned banks. And what that means is that they printed their own money at their own version of interest, and they weren't part of what we'd call the Rothschilds, usury, central banking system, IMF, all those things. So then they now are. That's a coincidence. They got attacked, and now they are on the system, right? The regime change just puts in their own puppets, and they won first. Objective number 1, get on the Rothschilds' central banking system. Now, that is just a coincidence that happens. And if you think otherwise, You might be a racist, and you're for sure a conspiracy theorist, a dirty conspiracy theorist, if you think that. But we'll see. I mean, the great thing about the truth is that in time it is revealed, right? So who knows? Maybe Iran, one of the things that you won't see on the news, right? You'll never see on the news. Iran has just switched to is a central bank from state-owned to IMF, took out a massive loan. they're in a debt that they'll never be able to pay out unless they pay out with oil dividends, right? Unless they, start giving out oil instead of money, the natural resources when you can't pay, you have to collateralize your natural resources. Do they have natural resources? Do they have any oil there? I had a strange thought yesterday too when it came to China. I saw, was it E-Money with the China one? Okay, Terry Crow, you've been having problems with Brave too. Yeah, I guess. I never had before. Just it saved it for Monday morning. What is it called? Napkin theory on China is that they're going to win. Because we're in this we're on the winning team of this civilization, this Western world, to a degree. And it's always been kind of under attack, too, by people with dreams of a better, existence, I suppose. But the reason why I think China will win is that they're going to pivot fast to nuclear, and they'll just be like a continent run on nuclear energy and electric everything. Everything will just be electric, and this whole oil war thing will be fought outside of China. Because when it comes to nuclear energy, the regulation on it is so long. To put up a nuclear reactor power plant is something like 20 years. Well, if anybody wants to grok that and correct me, my grok's not working. Oh, I guess it would be on my phone. But something like that. Even if it's 10 years, like let's just cut it in half and say it's 10 years to get a working nuclear power plant up. China will bypass those regulations. And plus, you also have to factor in that we sit 3 to 5 decades behind science and technology, right? And so when it came to, the Chernobylian power plants of the 80s that kind of got their knees cut out after that, the technology was so advanced then. That was 50 years ago. It's 50 years ago almost. So the technology for these nuclear power plants have advanced by decades, but they're also 3 to 5 decades above. So like it's 2026. We're dealing with technology that they've been working on and with for decades, and then they'll just roll it out. That's us. That's the Western world. Now, China, they move at the speed of communism, where it's like, well, we're just going to get it done, and you're going to like it or lump it. And they go for it. And that would be the absolute FU to the Western world. It's like, oh yeah, all these oil wars that you guys, that we've all been fighting, we're out. We're out. We're off the oil. We're off the petrodollar. Real Billy D, 10, 15 years, according to Grok in USA. Yeah, I would bet China is within a year. If they wanted to switch every coal factory to China, boom, they would. Now, another aspect of the truth and time revealing is I had a conversation with my niece. She's 18, and she says she doesn't want kids. And I know that's a normal thing for people of that age. I mean, I didn't want kids. Even in my 30s, I didn't want kids. So I know that it's a normal, I don't know if it's nihilistic or, she's just in that phase where everything else seems like a brighter idea. Maybe the hormones aren't kicking in as hard. Those hormones that kick in for at certain ages. But I had to tell her, it's like, listen. There's, the journey of time, and the truth sits on either end, the wrong side or the right side. So as your uncle, as your weird conspiracy theorist uncle. I'm just going to put my truth on this side and we'll see if it comes true. And the truth is, she wanted to be a lawyer. I'm like, caveat, there's not going to be any lawyers like 7 years. Like AI is going to demolish the legal system, probably for the better, but that's another thing. It's like, so I was asking you, like, do you really think there's going to be lawyers with AI around? You know, like you don't article anymore. Articling's done. That was my generation. Before you became a lawyer, you articled. You're like the grunt work of the legal office. That's gone, you know, and then lawyers will be gone, and then judges. It'll just be AI. If it even goes that far. Anyway, that wasn't my point. My point was the truth is that there's nothing in her life that's going to matter. No accomplishment is going to give her as much joy and reason to live as having kids. And I understand at 18, it hasn't affected her, but it was just like, you know, as your uncle, you could become the world's best lawyer, but if you don't have any kids, you will consider your life and your achievements just, you won't get the satisfaction you think you will. Like there's, you know, seeing your kid walk and talk and just do anything, just actually do anything is like gives you the greatest joy ever, right? And it's hard to convince someone that because you couldn't convince me of that. So when I didn't want kids for the majority of my life till I did ayahuasca in Peru, right? For the ayahuasca video. No one was going to convince me that kids are worth a damn. Like these kids, these annoying little these snot-nosed brats, I don't want them anywhere around. I want to do whatever I want to do. And I thought I had a fun life. And I probably had more of a fun life than most people, but nothing was as fun as, you know, just like Duke was in a squash tournament, just watching him play squash. That was more fun than all the crazy shit I've ever done in my life, which is more than most. Real Billy D, completely agree on that with the children part. Seeing them accomplish things brings great joy. Yeah, it's hard to really. I started thinking. So usually when I go to my sister's, her and her husband, she goes to bed and her husband and I will just sit there and chat deep. And I started going down the love psyop. And I think we're, in the Western world, we're psyoped with the concept of love. And the only reason I think that is that once you have kids, you understand what love is. So all of the love before that was fake to a certain point. It was something that you're told exists and you can attain it. You know, oh, you fall in love with this person and it feels like this. And you're like, okay, yeah, this kind of feels like all those things that I've been told. But for me, none of it was like, I guess the psyop didn't stick because I never felt I would die for you, I'd do anything for you, that type of psyop, right? With any girlfriend or relationship, it was like even the best of the best was just like, I still wouldn't do that. Yeah, I still wouldn't die for this. But then when you have a kid, you instantly realize that you would die for something. And that's a very life-shifting moment. Like you can't explain it. You can't fake it. You can't fake that desire. Like it truly is a desire. Like if need be, I will do this. Now that is not a psyop. That's an actual deep down, hard to explain emotion. And before that, I never. Like, don't give me a Sophie's Choice on a girlfriend. I'll like, you can have her. Even the best of the best, you can have her, right? But when it comes to kids, that's the actual, I think, love that is in, Bibles and is in religions. the love psyop, the Disney, the princess, the guy, the CEO who sells his business and moves to the country to be a Maine Coon farmer and meets the divorcee and they fall in love. That's the psyop. But the real version of love is, I think, when you have kids. For me, anyway. Now, I know people who don't have kids, and I understand it. I understand that too, because I was that person, and no one was going to convince me otherwise. No one could have convinced me. They did. My friend Scotty J, who we had the poker company together, we drove around 8 hours a day. So, yes, owning your own business is so glamorous. Is be your own boss. We ended up being poker table delivery drivers. You know, we could have paid someone, but then we were literally doing nothing. So we were just like, we just did it. Got in the car at 8:30, hung over, and drove around all day, delivering these poker tables. But we would talk for, 8 hours a day, and he was on his journey into kids, and he would always tell me, it's like, you don't want to instill, all your dad life hacks into a next generation. I was like, no, I don't. And now I understand what he was telling me there, because I love giving Duke life hacks, for better or for worse. I mean, they're not always, he always comes back from school and he'd be like, the kids are making fun of me about Trump. I'm like, well, what about Trump? He's like, well, none of them like Trump. I'm like, well, a lot of people don't like Trump, Duke, but it doesn't, do you have an opinion on Trump? He's like, well, not really. It's like, well, then who cares, right? If all of you don't have an opinion, then someone's just following a narrative, and you're following a narrative. Like he was Trump for Halloween, just because he thought it was funny, the wig and everything, and they still bring it up, right? Now, Patrick, that still cracks me up that one time Duke told the teacher they were being a puppet. No, Patrick, it was much worse than that. This was when he was in the public school, the public indoctrination system, one of his last days. The teacher was wearing a mask, if you can believe that. This was 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. And as he was getting in the car, he called her a government slave. Now, I don't know where he got that from. I don't know where he would get a description of a teacher as a government slave, but he actually said that. And you could see the girl, she's masked up, but her eyes said it all. She's like, realizing that Duke had said such a thing. And now he does repeat a lot of stuff that I say. So I'm starting to okay, I can't say everything, right? Because there was a video that my mom took of Duke. He was sitting in where I kind of sit at the dinner table, and he was impersonating me. And he picked up the central banking book. And he's like, just reading up on these central bankers, these Lincolns and these Hitlers and these Libyas, and just doing my just reading up on banks. It's funny. So the things that you don't think he's actually picking up on, he's picking up on. Always a time and a place to say certain things, but at the same time, that's still a proud dad moment. I'm not going to lie. It was a proud dad moment. Because it really is she was wearing a mask, for Christ's sake. So he would get in trouble, and we'd get emails that Duke's not wearing his mask. And I would always tell Duke, don't ever wear your mask. Don't ever wear your mask. If you're getting in shit, just put it up, take it down. But this mask bullshit, Duke, it's stupid. But we were out of that school shortly after that. 65.5. Now, what I would assume would happen this week is that even though, so this is what I said in my prediction of 2026, no matter what fundamentals, old Booth's Breath Jerry Pow Pow gets replaced, market crashes. Any upward fundamentals that are bullish, market will go down. I just think the crushing aspect of this cycle will maintain. You know, will we see a relief rally to 74.5? Yeah, and I think we're going to see it in this month. It has to be this month, really. It doesn't have to be, obviously. I don't make the rules, you know. But historically, we usually see that relief rally before the summer bummer. And now, if we're all prepared for the summer bummer, we have to emotionally prepare for the summer bummer. I always forgot. I forgot in the past 3 or 4 years. Remember, it's like June and it's like no one's watching Bitcoin videos and no one really cares. I'm like, oh yeah, because the price is not moving but slowly going down. That's the summer bummer. But until then, always side-eye the relief that we're going to see. Side-eye that relief rally. Just know that this is probably a lower high around 74.5. It'd be interesting if that plays out. You know, I've been wrong many times before, and I will be wrong many times after this. But that's my thesis, my theory. You got to have a theory, you know, even if it's wrong. I think sometimes theories can, as long as you're not hedging everything, as long as you're selling the farm or buying the farm or borrowing money to get into the market, as long as you have a loose plan that you stick to. Now, nothing changes for me anyway, but it's not like I'm doing anything at these price points, except for when it goes down to 50 or 29. That's when I'll start accumulating. Now, if it doesn't go down to 50, great. That means it didn't go down to 50. But if you really ask yourself about max pain and how much 50 would hurt, it's not even max pain, right? It's not even max pain. It would be, I assume the fear and greed's at 1, right? It can't go to 0. But I would assume it's at 1. If we're already like, oh, I can't even check. What the hell? Yeah. Can't even check it. If we're at in the 10s or 12s or whatever, if we go down to 50, we're definitely going to go under 5. It'll be a historic fear and greed. But that's just the irrationality of this market we're in now. It's like we're over-feared, we're oversold, we're overboard. Like not overboard of ship, but we're overboard. We're more bored than we've ever been because we've basically been doing this for over a year now, right? Fear and greed, 15. Thanks, Terry. Fear and greed, 15. Yeah. So if it drops to 50, we're going to see that 5 again, if not lower. Like we'll see 4, 3, 2, 1. It'd be wild. And if it goes to 29, we're at 1. Fear and greed, 1 for sure. So in half an hour, I'm going to start day 1 of Fitness DCA on this channel. Because let me tell you one thing. We've got a lot of time to kill in the next little while. You know, until we get above 100K, we probably have a year or two. So I'm going to try, as a commitment to myself and anyone who cares to join, I'm going to do, you know, day 1, day 2. I'll number them, right? So today will be Fitness DCA day 1. I'll run over some of the equipment and gear, but you don't need to know you don't need to have the gear to do it, because the concept is 10 minutes a day. Now, if you don't do anything, like, I mean, let's say you're retired or you don't have a job or whatever. If you sleep 8 hours, you have 96 10-minute blocks in your day. Now, you can minus 8 hours from that, whatever you want. But the concept is, in a given day, let's say it's Saturday, you have 96 10-minute blocks. And so one of those 96 blocks can be done doing the 10-minute workout. And someone, maybe, is going to come along for this ride. And I guarantee you, if you stick to this 10-minute workout from day 1, you can join whenever you want. Let's just say you do day 1 to even day 30. Your life's going to change. But day 100, when we're way out, maybe we're past October or November, not only will the price be going up, but you'll be in the best shape that you never thought you could probably be in. And that's just with the 10-minute workout. Now, I don't know. I'm doing some prep here. I don't know if I'll get it off, but I'm going to shoot for 9 o'clock to do the 10-minute workout. If I see you there, awesome. If I don't, see you tomorrow. You like and subscribe and share this video.